Hey guys, I would like to say that I have a very, sorry, I have a, what's that word? I have a, I have a fondness for old stuff. There we go. Old technology, old toys, old games. That's right, old toys, old games. But not video games. Not like video games. I'm talking electronic games. And I'm not talking about handheld games that were not like Bop It and all that stuff. I'm talking about electronic games that were like Bop It and Simon and all those other electronic games. I also have a fondness for old note takers. Too bad I don't have any, like, it's too bad I don't have one with me, or it's too bad I don't have one. I don't even have anything old except for
camera chooser, back facing. Speech off.
except for this old iPod Touch.
Stop. Camera chooser, back. Speech off.
I have an older iPhone, but that doesn't count. I'm talking about older. Much older. I'm talking like 2009 old. I'm talking about something that is as old as you can get. 10 years ago, VoiceOver came out. 10 years ago, VoiceOver came out. It was the first gesture-based screen reader of all time. The first. One of the first, if I'm not correct. Know why? Because I've heard of it from probably like research or something. I don't know. But VoiceOver was weird back when it debuted on the iPhone 3GS and the iPod Touch 3rd generation. The 32 and 64 gigabyte models, which that kind of stinks because no apps work on it. And I think they ran from iPhone OS 3 to iOS, I don't know. The 4th ran until iOS 6. So that means the 3rd probably ran until about iOS 5, which that kind of stinks. Probably ran until about iOS 5 or something. And it had YouTube on it, for goodness sakes. It had YouTube, but it doesn't work. Probably, since it's been like a long time ago. The original iPhone had YouTube. And that was back in 2007. The original iPod Touch did not even have a speaker. Yeah. The original iPod Touch did not have a speaker. It was like a regular iPod, but with a touchscreen. That's how it originally started out. So this, what I'm holding, the 4th generation was the 3rd to have a speaker, I think. I think starting with the 2nd generation in 2008, it had a speaker. But I don't know. The original iPod was released in 2001. And I don't think I'd want to check that out, seeing as how I got an even older iPod. That was probably about in 2008. I think it was like an iPod Classic, I don't know. Probably, I think it was an iPod Classic. Because it was thinner and had one of those Firewire connectors. Things with a lightning connector started coming out in 2012, like the iPhone 5, the iPad, let's see, iPad 3rd generation, I don't know. Was there a 3rd generation in 2012? If there was, then, I just want to know, to say that then the 3rd generation iPad was the first one to have lightning. I know the iPhone 5 was the first one to ever have lightning. First iPhone to ever have lightning. The iPod Touch, the 5th generation, was the first one to have lightning. There's no way I can react to the original iPhone, which was the iPhone 2G. And no, they did not call it the iPhone. They called it the iPhone 2G. So it started out iPhone 2G, 2GS, 3G, 3GS, 4, 4S, 5, 5S, 5C, 6, 6S, 6S Plus, 6 Plus, I think, 7, 7 Plus, 8 Plus, the 10, the 10R, the 10X, 10S, then the 10S Max, then the 11 is coming out, and then the 11 Pro, and then the 11R. Yikes. That's a lot of them. That is a lot of iPhones. Yeesh. You think I'm not smart? I think I remembered pretty much every model of the iPhone that ever came out since 2007, and yet I didn't even have an iPhone until 2015 or 2016. In fact, I think I recorded with that iPhone a lot of times. You know what stinks? Is that when that Bop It app came out, it was $1.99 or 99 cents or something. And when I finally was able to get a Bop It app, there was only that Bop It Smash app. And since January or March of 2016, that Bop It app was discontinued. Boom, boom, boom. No, I'm serious. It was. No, I don't remember all the Windows PCs, but all the Windows operating systems. But from Windows 1.0 to Windows 10, there's been a lot since 1985 or 1986 or whatever. Probably about 1985, there was the first Windows operating system, I think. Before that, I think there was Commodore the computer. Then there were computers back in the 70s. Although, I don't know too much about it at all. Back in the 80s, computers were like TVs. Except the computers had, keyboards and stuff. I've kind of reacted to an old computer at someone's house. Like I went to a house somewhere. I'm not saying where and I'm not saying whose house, but it was a house that I went to that had an old computer, and I was like, what's this? And then someone said, this is an old computer. I'm not saying who, I'm not saying where, I'm just saying there was an old computer somewhere. And, yeah. So yeah, there's that. You would think that tablets were not invented in the early 2000s. Well, I don't think so either. The first telephone or house phone, I believe, probably came out in what? The 1930s or 40s? I have no idea. But those like rotary phones where you'd have to manually get the number. And you want to know how I know this? It's through research and paying attention. I'm glad I wasn't born in the 40s, or 50s, or 60s, or 70s, or 80s, or whenever. I'm just glad I was born in a time where everything is practically done on a screen, except there's still computers. However, I would think that the first laptop came out in like the 1990s or something. I was about to say 1960s, right? No, I'd say the first message to ever be sent on a computer was in 1969. So basically the internet, not as we know it, but like similar to that, was in the 1960s. Late 1960s, 1969. But the first website was literally 1991. It literally came out in 1991. It was not called 1991. It came out in 1991. I've researched about the first Braille display and found out that in the 1970s that there was a machine almost like the Braille note. But it had like a mechanical Braille display like on current, note takers and stuff like that. I don't even know why I'm doing this. It was like a mechanical Braille display. It had like pins like a Braille display. But it was invented like, 1975 or something? The first embosser, I would say, was in 1971. Probably about 1982 was the first year that a Braille display was out. And like I said before, the Braille and Speak, which I've talked about a few times, was made in 1987 with a very robotic monotone voice. And I'd still like to check that out, and I haven't done that. The first Braille note made by Humanware was made in 2000. And like I said, the first note taker was a Braille and Speak. They're now coming out with Braille Note, like note-taking tablets for the blind. The Braille Note Touch is one of them. It's a tablet. The first Google certified Braille tablet. And yeah, it is a tablet. It's just got a keyboard that you can remove to enable touch Braille. And there's a Braille display. A great way for like blind people to, to actually have technology that is made specifically for them. You would think Keysoft is like a screen reader. Well, not really, because it's the Braille Note operating system. If you think about it, Keysoft is, I believe, the Braille Note's operating system that it runs off of. I mean, I think it has like Windows or something, because it's got like Internet Explorer, but since Keysoft has like versions, then I would say it's a screen reader also. But you may be thinking, since I said screen reader, then there's no screen, quote unquote, there's no screen. No, it's not. It's not really a screen reader. But, Keysoft is like, it's hard to explain. I guess it's got a few things built into it, like, I guess it is a built-in screen reader. Because like on Apple products, they can turn off Keysoft by using the home button on the Braille Note Touch, and I've heard of this through research and paying attention. Some Android devices have the triple click home just like the iPhone does.
Speech on. Voiceover off.
I just turned off voiceover.
Voiceover on. YouTube. Back. Portrait. Speech off.
There you go. I just turned off voiceover and turned on voiceover. Why they came up with voiceover, I have no idea. Anyways, I can stop this video.
Stop recording.